All right, welcome to HTML Basics. So in this section, we're going to start learning HTML5 from absolute scratch. And I just want to stress that this section is geared towards absolute beginners. I know that there's a few different types of people taking this course. Those of you that are just getting into this, that need to learn HTML, this is geared towards you guys. And then there's those of you that are comfortable with HTML that took this course to learn more about creating better looking websites and user interfaces, see it more geared towards CSS. Just be aware that this particular section is very basic and it might be a lot of stuff that you already know. So feel free to skip it if you need to. So here's what we'll be covering in this section. We'll talk a little bit about what HTML is. We'll look at the syntax of HTML tags and attributes, how to structure a page, including the doc type, meta tags. We're going to set up VS Code with an extension called Live Server so that we can open our HTML pages easily in a little local development server. We're going to talk about keyboard shortcuts in VS Code, also Emmet. Forms and input, links and images, tables and lists. We're going to look at the differences between block level elements and inline elements. We'll look at divs, spans, compare IDs and classes, HTML entities, and we'll also look at the HTML5 semantic tags. So the way this is going to work is for every section we'll be creating a new file in a folder called HTML Sandbox, and I want you guys to have this as a reference to go back to if needed. And we're going to target specific tags and concepts in each file. Okay, so we'll have like a forms and input file. We'll have a file for tables and lists and paragraphs and headings, things like that. So we're going to do it in this section and in the next CSS section, and then after that we'll build a real website using all the knowledge that we learned from both. All right, so I'm going to include both the starting files and the finished sandbox in this lecture for you to download. So you can either use that or you can create the files as we move along like I'm doing. And then I also want to mention that HTML itself without CSS is very, very ugly. So everything in this section is going to look like crap in the browser because there's no styling. When we get to the CSS section, we'll start learning how to align things, how to add backgrounds, colors, borders, stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in.